Deus will be from everyone, my kin, my clan, my subscribers, and my viewers. Just wanted to take this time out just to say thank you to all who so far have been watching me on this channel and for the great feedback. A quick shout out to Miss Cherie and a couple of others that I don't know if y'all want me to say your name, so I'll hit you up personally. What am I going to do today? You know, the setting's a little different. It's a little bit more casual for me today. I'm not going to really be showing spells and anything like that. I'm just going to chat with you, give you a little bit of I don't know. I'm just going to talk and ramble for a bit and see what comes out. I'm still not feeling 100%. If you could tell from the last video, I just had a very low energy. It was very late, so I do apologize for that, but I just really wanted to at least put out a video out there for you guys. I'm still not feeling good today, but much better. I'm not coughing and sneezing as much, and I haven't taken as much NyQuil today as I needed yesterday. So, okay, yeah, let me just start talking. One of the things that I really wanted to talk about was spiritual growth. You know, how does magic work? You know, just a journey on its own. I do know that a lot of the spells that I have shown, for some may be a little bit, you know, intimidating because it may seem like it's, you know, just a little bit too much to do. But you have to understand where I come from. For me, you know, I sometimes say it's common sense, but not everybody has the same common sense, and I do understand that. So it all falls down to your intuition and your instincts. I guess for me, that's the main thing that I try to teach people is trust your instincts. Your instincts will never, ever steer you in the wrong way, in the wrong direction. A lot of times in the beginning, I tell the individual to start working on themselves. Start relying on their own personal strengths and talents before even diving into the whole world of finding a deity for yourself. You know, deity isn't really needed. I know quite a bit of witches out there, male witches on top of that for some reason, who feel that they don't really need a god to really, you know, work their craft. It's really them pushing it, and it makes complete sense. Because one of the things that I do teach is, you know, raising energy. And with raising energy for me should be the foundation for someone. Besides, you know, relying on your instincts, it's your foundation should be, you know, you being able to raise your energy to get yourself in a state of meditation, a state of peace, so that you are able to push a spell forward, so that you are able to charge a crystal, a stone, to be able to just work your craft and your magic the best way possible. If you don't know how to raise energy, then you're really not doing much. Don't mind her, it's just she's going to get all up in my face and start trying to play, and it's not the time for that. Please don't, I don't want hate crying from this.
Peter.
Right, I don't want Peter calling me that she lands at her feet, it's a cat. Anyways, where was I? Foundation, yes, the foundation should be raising energy. How do you raise energy? And in the earlier videos that I posted, I, you know, briefly went over it. Again, it's just finding a place where you can totally disconnect yourself from the world. You know, I would advise you turning off computers, laptops, cell phones, and all of those type of things. And centering yourself, putting a glass of water, lighting some frankincense or myrrh, any type of incense that will purify as well as naturally help raise energy. And just meditate, clear your mind, steady your heart, sit in a nice chair, you know, so that you can center yourself, put your feet firmly on the floor, and just start breathing and just, you know, in 3 claps, one louder than the other. you place your hands directly, your palm facing down on the knees, and you push that energy throughout your body. The more you practice, it'll be easier for you to fill the whole room up with your energy. And if you really practice, you won't even need to clap your hands. The energy will naturally rise quicker within your hands, and that's what you're really looking. That's what you're really trying to get to, where you can just automatically raise the energy and focus the energy for a certain situation that you may need to, whether it's Reiki, healing or hermetics and stuff like that. Like just energy work is really important for you to learn how to raise that, because again, with that you're able to set your circles, charge crystals, energize and put your enough intent into a spell, be able to push and move that spell far so that it can do what it has to do. It's just the basic thing for me. It shouldn't be rushed. It should not be rushed. Only for the reason is, there's this thing, a cat has 4 legs but 1 path, and it takes its time to get into there. The main goal is not falling into temptations, because I do find that when you are starting a new path and something that is positive in your life, all of a sudden obstacles tend to fall your way. And, in my personal belief, there can't be just good. There has to be evil and good. Bad things happen to good people, because I think it's a test for you to maintain your peacefulness, maintain your positive attitude. It's just, tests that we all tend to go through. Just like good things happen to bad people, it's also a way for them to see if they're going to humble themselves. But that's just a discussion for another time. But yes, you definitely need to learn how to raise your energy, because with that, you're able to do so much more, and you're able to move on to the next step. Because meditation is the best thing, it's the main thing that will strengthen you and your gifts and your talents. Because you're able to raise your energy, you're able to open your chakras, you're able to open your sight, your third eye, and you're able to start really focusing on your divination, and focusing on your intuition, and focusing on working with the spirits, and to commune with the spirits so that they can guide you, so that they can warn you about certain things that you may be going through in your life that you need attention brought to. So with meditation, there's also things that you're doing to kind of spark interest in the spirit realm, where you're able to attract these spirits. I always say that we're all born with our spiritual circle. And those are our spirit guides. We just don't have one. We have many different voices, many different volumes of our conscious that tells us, hey, you shouldn't do this, or in a strong voice, definitely don't go through, make this right or turn or something. Because again, those are just different aspects of the spirit that are with you, that are trying to guide you and protect you. For some of you, you may say that it can be, different guardian angels, if you believe in angels, or, ancestral spirits. I personally don't like to work too much with my ancestral spirits, only for the simple reason is they were alive already, they suffered enough on this earth. The least that I can do is just pay homage to them and give them light and offering, and I'll work my spirit guides. Those are the ones that I really work with. Those are the ones that really guide me and has gotten me to the level that I am now, or to the point that I am now in my life, where divination is a little bit easier to me than when I first started. I don't need to, rack my brain as much as just try to get a good reading out, because it comes naturally to me, because it's just, again, it's through meditation. From there, you have to work on and know your herbs. Your herbs are the most important thing that you need to know in this craft. If you don't know your herbs, you're not really doing nothing in this craft. Yeah, you can light your candles and you can, light your oils, but at the same time you need to know what scent does what, and by you knowing that is by knowing your herbs. So herb magic is very important. That should be, besides centering yourself, besides finding peace, besides raising energy, you should be studying your herbs. That is your spiritual journey. Incorporating those herbs on daily matters. Whether it's helping your friend out in a court case, or it's making a sedative tea to your mother because she's having trouble sleeping. So then you have to incorporate your herbs and making her a good sleeping tea to cure her insomnia. All that you find out through your herbs. Most magical herbs have medicinal properties. So on top of you learning your craft, you're learning how to just do home remedies to be able to save your children's life and possibly save yourself from going and spending some money in the doctors. Hopefully my priest will let me know if I'm rambling too much and I'm steering away from the point or the topic of tonight's just chat. From your herbs, with herbs again, you can do teas, you can do incenses, you can do satchels, gree bags, pillows, for dream pillows, the puppets, you name it, you can do all of that stuff. And much, much more if you explore your knowledge. The more you are knowledgeable, the more you're able to do, the more creative your mind will be in order for you to create and personalize your own spells. Most of the spells that are out there may not work for you because it doesn't flow with your energy. So sometimes you have to alter certain spells. And with that is, again, having the energy, the power, the intent to do it, and the knowledge of of your herbs, of your color magic, of what the symbols. Magic is a science, in fact. It's part, it's part the tools, it's part the sigils and the symbolisms, and it's also the right timing and the right incantation in order for everything to work smoothly in a feng shui type of thing. And that's something that you have to do. You have to learn how to be patient and not rush things. Because I feel that when you're rushing things, you overlook the small details, and that is when your spells backfire or turn against you. Because it's within those small details that hold everything together. Everything has to make sense in a spell. If it's just there just to take space, it's not meant to be there. Everything has its purpose, and you have to understand. I'm sorry, I feel a little itchy in my nose. I'm sorry. My allergies are also kicking my butt. What's my time?
13.
Oh my God, 13 minutes, and I feel like I've just been talking and talking and talking. Is there something that you would like to share? Ask me.
Well, why don't you explain? Okay, because some people, they might get confused as far as, or depressed, or might not feel confident because their spells didn't work. Maybe you can elaborate on maybe an example of how one of your spells might have not worked how you wanted it, but there was an outcome, and how did you see it? How did you, like, you know what I'm saying? How can someone validate themselves? Like, okay, better example, if I do a spell for like, I don't know, for a friend to get a job at Target, for example, and then they don't get the interview, but then a week later they find a job, elsewhere, and they were being doubtful and all this other stuff. I guess I kind of just answered the question.
Yeah, you kind of just I definitely understand where you're coming from.
You know what I'm saying?
When it comes down to actual magic, we all have this idea of how your spells are going to be. For example, if I'm going to do a dark spell or on someone, or better yet, if I'm going to do a friendship spell on someone, just to attract new positive people, in your area, because this person suffers from depression, this person suffers from codependency, and They just need a new environment, a new scene. Okay, so I'll do a spell for that. You know, Idealistically, I would love the idea of her just going and stumbling into, the shop, right, or some type of supermarket, and all of a sudden she finds friends, and they go out to dinner, and then they introduce some more friends. That's how we would love it to work. But unfortunately, whether it's the spirits, the demons, or the gods that you work with, they all work in very mysterious ways. It may take, sometimes it could happen where a fire may happen, and this person now has to relocate to another state because, or go with family or something. Well, the saying of "be careful what you wish for" definitely is put into play there, because now she did find new friendships and a new social network. Just not how she thought she was going to receive it. It's just now, she has to go through a tragedy to get a positive outcome for her. And a lot of times, that comes into play with chaos magic, and that is something that I definitely do work with a lot. Sometimes tragic things have to happen in order for the positive picture or the clear picture to be viewed. And if you have too many distractions, then obviously all that has to be white clear. Mm-hmm. So in order for you to see the positive picture and see your priorities and the goals that you really should have been having in the front and not in the back burner.
I have a perfect example, because you said the magic word to me, which is tragedy. Uh-huh. And for example, when I first started, when I met you, and I was who I was, and
very bad boy.
Yes, I was not a good person, and I had a lot of things, a lot of materialistic things. I had a big sum of money hidden in my room. Part of it was worked for, and we won't go to the rest. But the point is that when she mentioned tragedy, at that point I was trying to embark on this new path of spirituality and everything. And my house caught on fire. Well, my room caught on fire, where my altar was and me and everything. And I was even hospitalized for a little bit. And but the crazy thing was that as soon as I started losing my faith in that moment where I saw everything aflamed, and I'm like, oh my God, maybe this is, because I was brought up Catholic, so in my head it was like, oh my God, maybe this is God punishing me. But then at the same time, that whole week and even that night in the hospital, I didn't feel alone, and I felt, I kept dreaming. I started to dream heavy, and more spirit guides started coming to me more than ever, and even certain deities. And I wasn't even praying because, again, I felt dark. I felt alone. I felt like I brought shame in a way. But through that tragedy, all the things that blinded me, like vanity, through my materials, through my possessions, through my money, everything, once I didn't have anything and I was basically driven from my humble abode, my nice house, to a humble abode, to a little hole in the wall, it was through that tragedy I was able to find silence and inner peace and find myself and my spirits and, the deities that I grew a very strong bond with because of that. And yeah, it's true. Be careful what you wish for, because I really wanted to straighten my life up, and I really wanted change, and I really wanted to grow immensely spiritually. And a lot of things even changed with my spirituality because of that tragedy. So that's a good example. Tragedy and chaos.
Definitely. Basically, also another thing that I just want to point out is everybody in the beginning goes through self-doubt. You feel that your magic isn't working. You feel that your spells are a big flop. You feel that your divinations are weak. Well, instead of beating yourself up, instead of doubting your faith or doubting yourself, that's what I always say, rely on yourself first. Practice on your gifts, make them strong so that you don't have to suffer with self-doubt. Because I always say, when too many coincidences happen, it's not a coincidence. It's obviously you are causing an effect in your own reality based on your own craft. It took me in the beginning, I've been practicing for about 15, 16 years now. And in the beginning, yeah, it was hard. It was like, did I really do that? Or is it just, life happening? And then, Somebody told me if it's so many coincidences, it's not a coincidence. It has to be you doing something. And I came to the realization that yes, the stronger I'm getting with my spirituality, the stronger and quicker my spells are giving me my confirmations. And I thank the gods that they have blessed me with the point that I am able to work, and not too many witches out there will profit on a spell because it's always left out on the whim. But I thank the gods that 9 out of 10 of my spells are definitely a go, and you see the reactions. Not that I'm trying to be cocky. Again, it's blessed be to the gods that work with me and the faith and confidence that I have in myself. With everything in life and anything in life, if you lack confidence, it's a wrap for you. You're not going to be successful. And unfortunately, that has to do with everything. Just pause this. Give me a second.